Okay, so let's say you're driving around and they have those like speed signs that show you the speed on the pole or whatever, right? And let's say there's like a tree covering like the like actual sign, right? So you can't see it. So you don't know what, like, you're in a new place, like you don't know where you're going, let's say, and you don't know what the speed limit is. So you're like cruising at a good like 35. Okay. And the speed limit's like 25, but you don't know that since like the speed sign was covered by a tree. And then you get pulled over for it and like you end up fighting it or whatever. But like, is that on the city for not like cutting the trees? And then, you know what I mean?
In every city, basically the speed limit is 25 miles per hour unless otherwise posted. So, number one, if you don't know what the speed limit is, if you haven't seen a sign, something like that, you need to be doing 25 miles per hour until you know better. So, number one, you're not going to have an excuse that, well, I didn't see a speed limit sign or it was obscured or something like that. You are tasked with the knowledge that what the speed limit is unless you know otherwise.
Okay, but who knows that? Nobody knows that unless you're a lawyer and you've studied the books. Like, I wouldn't know to go 25 if said otherwise.
And generally speaking, the speed limit signs aren't going to be covered by a tree. So it's a little bit of a hypothetical because generally the city is going to keep their signage clear for people to see if they're paying attention to the roadway, which we always do, right, Mace? Yeah. That's a very important thing.
Or like, what about stop signs? Like, there's stop signs in like neighborhoods and stuff where like they are covered by trees. Like, I've seen them driving. I mean, I know they're there.
Yes.
What if some people don't see out a four-way?
Yeah, and that
stop sign.
Yeah, and well, the scary part about that's a good point, and it definitely could be a potential argument. The other thing that's really scary about that is if an accident occurs because somebody doesn't stop. And I mean, we've had situations before where signs have been obscured, and then we've actually brought, say, we represent the injured person. And not only do we bring a claim against the driver, but we also bring a claim against the municipality for not keeping their signage clear in that regard. And we've had situations where people pulled out, here's a car, and they just weren't able to see the cars coming. And so on the civil side, there's a much greater argument when signage is obscured like that. No, those are good questions.